Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our week 11 of our marine environment. For today's topic, we have the structure of the International Conventions of Maritime Pollution of 1973-78. For our learning objectives, we are going to explain the structure of the International Convention of Marine Pollution of 73-78 and its amendments. First, what is the meaning of the convention? Convention, it is a formal meeting of the delegates, especially for a political or a professional purposes. So that's why I told you the one who is attended the convention, which is the SOLAS convention, the one who is into politics, kung sino yung mga uh, nasa matataas na posisyon with regard sa maritime industries, no? So again, the right term for the uh, SOLAS, which is the basic training. Hindi po siya yung SOLAS because SOLAS, it is a mataas na convention siya pagdating sa maritime industry, no? So convention, then protocol. Protocol, it is a preliminary draft or official document as a treaty. So again, before it is being mandated, dadaan muna siya sa protocol. It is a draft. Ibig sabihin, it is not yet a proper document or not being approved. Then when it is a formal agreement, it is a compact between two or more nations. So kung magkakaroon na siya ng agreement between the nations or any other parties, we call it as a treaty. Kasi hindi lang isa yun mag-a-approve, no? Meron na siyang pinagbabasihan pang iba pang nation, which is called treaty. So we have also the governing body, which is the IMO, which stands for the International Maritime Organization, in which it is the SOLAS Convention, the most convention or the most important convention in the maritime safety because it is being influenced or being mandated just because of the Titanic incident, no, in which we lost a 1,500 lives, and it is adopted during 1974 and entered into force into 1980, in which natakal na natin siya or nabanggit ko na siya last meeting. So during the years, syempre passing by, no, may mga incident, merong mga uh, ratification, merong mga agreements, may mga dumadang pagbabago, no? Ganun naman every year merong nakikitang mali, merong nakikitang magandang amendment. So, during years passed by, so in tanker incident naman na natakal during the environment threat caused by the routine operations and oil cargo and disposal of engine room waste, tonnage terms a bigger menace for the incident of the pollution. So, for the International Convention for the Marine Pollution incident naman, nagkaroon tayo ng MARPOL just because of the Exxon Valdez incident. So, check nyo over the internet, the Exxon Valdez incident, kaya nagkaroon naman tayo ng MARPOL Convention. So, every incident, nagkakaroon tayo ng convention. So, operational of the sources of marine pollution. Ano ba yung mga pinagbabasihan natin dyan? Operation of discharge during tank cleaning, bilges discharge of the vessel, spills during the marine incidents like collision, grounding, and explosion, no? And spills during loading and discharging operation, and transferring of cargo kapag naglalagay tayo ng gasolina sa barko natin para umandar, no? And we also have this deliberate of charges of use refuse of sewage, garbage, and holds for sweepings. So, kung meron tayong sea-based, meron din tayong land-based sources of the pollution. So, byproducts of the industry like the agriculture, yung mga waste coming from the poultry, no? Discharge from the urban areas, yung mga waste na nanggagaling sa mga cities natin, industrial products, like yung mga plastics na pinagkakainan natin na tinatapon natin through the ilog. Tapos syempre, saan ba yung bagsak niyan? Sa dagat pa din, no? And oil introduced into the sea through the exploration and exploitation of activities made by human. Kasi syempre, alang-alang nature yung gagawa nito, tayo yung gumagawa ng mga plastics and tayo din nagiging primary source of pollutant in the maritime activities in the industry. So, increase of tonnage of 1950, the dead weight regardless of the very large, no? That is the minimum. So at present, 250 tons dead weight are the commonplace as a number of twice as the tonnage has been built. So meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng tanker carrier on board the vessel. Kaya tayo magfo-focus tayo sa tanker kasi it is the one of the primary source of the pollution for the type of the vessel, no, sa merchant vessel natin. So for our oil tanker, which means it is constructed and adapted primarily to carry oil from the word itself, oil tanker, and chemical tanker as defined as the Annex 2. So when it is carry a cargo part of the oil in bulk as a gas carrier. So meron din tayong crude oil tanker, which means when the oil tanker engage in carrying crude oil. For the product tanker naman, carrying other than oil or other than crude oil. No? So, product na yung tawag doon. So, kapag dating naman sa design, either or oil or solid of the cargoes in bulk, we have this combination tanker. So, it's either solid or liquid form. Pagdating naman sa chemical tanker, which means it is a constructed primarily to carry cargo, noxious liquid substances. So, the term oil tanker as defined as in the Annex 1. So, for the crude oil tanker, the allowed carry oil is prohibited from carrying crude oil. So, for the product tankers, it is allowed to carry product oil, but it is carrying a crude oil. So, for the crude oil and product carrier, allowed to carry crude oil or product crude oil, but or both simultaneously, no? So for the Annex 1 definition of oil, it is a petroleum in any form, including the oil or fuel. It is refuse or refined products or any other than petrochemical in which we are going to use to have a generation, no? Kapag modernized na yung mga, like we are in a modern times, no, yung mga operation ng mga equipments natin, like yung ating mga sasakyan, no, the primarily used na is oil, no? Doon na pumapasok kasi when the time goes by, kapag nagiging modern na yung country or nagiging modern na yung isang planet, no, the primary source is the oil and gas. So kung mapapansin nyo, lahat ng mga businesses is hindi ganun nalulugi kapag dating ay oil and gas na yung nagiging source of the business. Kasi wala kang talo, hindi nag-expired, no? Means of oil as used as the primary connection with the propulsion of the auxiliary, as I had said doon, the machinery, hindi gagana yung mga isang bagay or any equipment without the use of oil. And the ship's such oil is carried, and the crude oil ships is the hydrocarbon mixture occurring with the naturally earth, whether it is treated or rendered for the transportation, and also includes the crude oil, in which it is a distillate fractions and may also have this fraction have been added. For the Annex 2, control of the pollution by noxious liquid substances, it is entered into force. Pag sinabing entered into force, pinalaganap siya or minandate na siya, isinasagawa na siya, no? That is the term. And during April 6, 1987. So for the 250 substances evaluated, included with the apprehended during the convention, the discharge of this residue is allowed only for the reception facilities, in which we're referring into the port facility. And the term chemical tanker means it is adapted to the cargo noxious liquid substances, includes the oil tanker, as it is stated on the Annex 1. So for the Annex 3, we have the prevention of pollution by the harmful substances in a package form and entered into force during 1992 of July 1st. So the primary requirement is the labeling. the packing, the documentation, the stowage, the limitation of these harmful substances in which we tackled from our previous discussion, no? Yung mga placards, yung the classes, yung classes hanggang class 9, tapos meron pa silang mga subclass. So, dapat it is being mandated during Annex 3 and dapat nasusunod natin siya. No? So, with regards sa packing, it is very particular to minimize the hazard for the marine environment and their specific content kasi doon mo makikita kung ano yung laman ng isang cargo na ita-transfer mo or i-load or discharge mo. So for the stowage, harmful substances should be properly stowed and secured. And so it is minimize the hazard for the marine environment. Syempre, once it is tumapon, then magpapunta overboard, yung tendency ng uh, shipping mo, magkakaroon kayo ng fine, magkakaroon kayo ng madidisband kayo, and then hindi magkakaroon ng biyahe yung vessel nyo, malulugi yung company. Then, mawawalan din kayo ng trabaho. So, we should follow all the rules including especially the Annex 3. So, for the Annex 4, prevention of pollution by the sewage, no? So, it is entered into force bago lang, no? It is millennium, no? 2020, 2003 of September 27. So, with regards sa sewage, it is expected to be comminuted, no? Dapat nagiling siya, na-disinfect, and with the proper route of the nautical miles and the knots with the speed. And also, it is disinfected kasi alam naman natin na ang ating marine life is pwede yung makain. At syempre, yung cycle ng marine life natin pag nakain siya, again, yung bagsak din sa atin kasi tayo din yung nagko-consume sa marine life natin. And also, the corals, baka mamatay. And tendency, baka mamatay din yung dagat natin, masira, at mawalan din tayo ng source of living. No? Then yung source of our primary natural resources. So for the sewage, drainage and waste from the form of toilets, no, alam naman natin na pag sinabing sewage, ito yung dumi ng tao. So pag sinabi naman natin drainage, it is from the medical premises like this dispensary, yung mga ginamit na bandage, no, yung mga may mga dugo, no. That is from the word drainage or for the spaces containing for the living animals. And waste other than the mixed drainage defined as the above. So that is the difference between drainage and the sewage. So for the Annex 5, prevention of pollution by garbage from ships, it is entered into force of 1988 of December 31. So again, we are familiar with the special areas. It is already discussed during prelim, no? You must be familiar with the special areas kasi dito tayo magbabase kung saan tayo magdi-dispose ng garbage natin and if it is under the special areas. So first, plastics including not limited to synthetic ropes, synthetic fishing nets, garbage bags, incinerator ashes, plastic is no discharge. Ibig sabihin, any form of plastic, bawal po sa dagat. Hindi lang dito sa lupa, kundi sa dagat, bawal din yung mga katulad yung plastic. Okay? So, damage lining, packing materials in which may ability to float. So, sabi diyan, 25 nautical miles from the nearest land, pwede po tayo magtapon. For the food waste, other than garbage, including paper, products, rugs, grass, metal bottles, crockery, and similar refuse, so more than 12 nautical miles dapat. For the food waste, other than the garbage, including the paper products, rugs, metal bottles, crockery, similar refuse, more than 3 nautical miles is if commuted, kung dumaan daw ng kung na-commute natin, ground can be passed through a screen of at least 25 millimeter. Ganun lang kaliit daw ang ating product na na-commuted. So for the plastic, no discharge and any other garbage like being discussed, no, no discharge po. So for foodways, more than 12 nautical miles, and for the foodways in wider Caribbean region, if you are in a wider Caribbean region, 3 nautical miles, pwede na daw, no? And must be a 25 millimeter in size. So for the prevention of air for the pollution from ships, no, it is adopted during September 1997 and enter into force of 2005 May 19. So for the continuous feeding as the process whereby the waste is fed into a combustion chamber without a human assistance while the incinerator is being normal operating. So again, ang nagiging pollutant natin sa dagat, hindi lang yung ginagamit natin na during our voyage, no? Hindi lang yung nababurn natin na fuel ang nagiging pollution, kundi yung mga nababurn din natin using the incinerator to make it ashes. So, yung nai-emit niya na pollution from air, no, it causes also a uh, pollutant to the environment. So, from the word itself, the emission means a release, no, yung mga nai-emit niyan, mga nare-release niya na substances to control this annex, it is from the atmosphere of the sea. So for the Annex 6 also continuation, the ozone depleting substances means it is the controlled substances defined in the paragraph 4. For the Article 1, for the Montreal Protocol, substances that the deplete of the ozone layer started 1987. So for the depleting substances may be found on board, include but not limited to. So meron tayong mga periodic elements dito na in which it is caused by the depleting of the ozone layer for the halon 1211, no, hindi ko na siya bibigkasin, masyadong mahirap bigkasin, but the elements which is halon 1211, halon 1301, halon 2402, CFC 11, CFC 12, CFC 113, 14, and 15. So that is the you can found on board or inside the ship, but not limited to for the ozone depleting substances. So that is the formation that can deplete the ozone layer that can cause cause the ozone layer and can develop a global warming. So for the prevention of pollution from ships of air, no, sets limited of sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxide emissions from ships exhaust. So prohibits deliberate of emission of the ozone depleting substances. So kung mapapansin nyo, no, we're studying marine pollution, so we are all responsible even if hindi kayo nag-aaral ng maritime, no, kahit ibang courses pa yan, we are all responsible of our actions with regards sa ating uh, environment. Hindi ko lang nire-refer pagdating sa marine environment, kundi na rin yung environment natin dito sa land, no? Kasi uh, kung walang take ng action, sino pa? No? Tayong mga tayo nagko-consume ng planet, tayo yung nakikinabang. So we are the one who is responsible also to our actions, no, binibigay ng planet natin kung ano yung kailangan natin, so bigay din natin dapat kung ano yung kailangan nila, no, in which our support to prevent this global warming and para ma-maintain natin yung nature natin na mas maayos, no, for the future generations. Iwasan natin maging greedy sa nature and be more responsible. Okay, for our activity, I will post it via G-Class, and this for our next discussion, no, kayo naman yung magdi-discuss, and I want to hear from you, no, pagdating sa reporting. No, again, it is individually graded. Kahit na naka-by group kayo, again, I will base depending on your performances, how you deliver your reports, and how you come up with your topic. No? So again, thank you very much for your listening and have a good day.